Perhaps you've only seen this in Hollywood disaster movies. The gale caused great concern for staff preparing for the Chinese Communist Party, CCP's 100th anniversary celebrations. On June 30, the day before the anniversary, Jinan City in Shandong Province, 400 kilometers south of Beijing, was hit by a rare gale. The day was like the night, with howling wind. Dark clouds quickly filled the sky that was clear moments before. In Zhangqiu, Jinan, the wind force reached 40 meters per second, equivalent to level 13, which set the highest record in local history. At 2 p.m., the local meteorological bureau issued a warning for thunder, lightning, and high wind. Cities around Jinan also experienced strong convective weather. The local high-speed railway took measures to limit speed and has experienced various degrees of delays. According to China's official wind rating, winds up to 12 are considered typhoons. They are usually formed in the northwestern Pacific Ocean and the South China Sea and rarely occur on land. A local cable was brought down by the wind and fell to the ground with sparks spattering dangerously. Almost all of the windows in a building in the local residential area were blown off by the wind, and the siding was also ripped off. A hanging basket operating outside the building was tossed about, but fortunately there was no one on it. A video shows the owner of a temporary night market restaurant outside crying. Almost all of his business equipment was destroyed by the high winds. The whole city was a mess. Days before this, on June 28, a neighboring province of Shandong was also struck by extreme winds and heavy rain. But it seems that the heavens have spared the Communist Party some face. This was Tiananmen Square on July 1. Dark clouds loomed over it, and tiny raindrops fell. But is this what the weather was supposed to be? We will find out more. Under the gray sky, 100,000 pigeons were released in Beijing. It is said that the 100,000 pigeons were all borrowed from local residents, and the 100 selected release agents have been training since May to open the doors of 16 pigeon cages at the same time. Previously, from June 19, Beijing residents have been banned from flying their pigeons. BBC reporter Tamara Gill wrote, "Beijing is one of the most polluted cities in the world, but if ever the dark clouds almost disappear and the sun appears, it means Beijing is going to hold an important political meeting or event of international significance." In 2007, the Chinese media reported that to ensure the smooth running of the opening ceremony of the 2008 Beijing Olympics, the Beijing Meteorological Department carried out a pilot study on artificial rain elimination reduction for the opening and closing ceremonies of the Olympics as early as 2002. At the time, Beijing had 170 full-time and part-time staff to conduct various experiments on artificial rain elimination and reduction. The director of the Beijing Meteorological Bureau explained that Beijing began to use aircraft, rockets, etc. in 2005 to carry out a series of cloud elimination and rainfall reduction tests and has achieved some success. On July 7, 2007, Beijing's Xiangshan Weather Modification Practice Base fired 400 rounds of 37mm caliber silver iodide shells in 10 minutes, successfully eliminating an intense hailstorm that was to occur in Beijing's urban area. Recently, the Chinese media reported that on June 28, only 3 days before July 1, all forecast models had almost converged in their conclusions. The impact of the cold vortex was surely to hit, and Beijing would face systematic precipitation and strong convective weather. Sure enough, on June 30, it was the time when Jinan, a city 400 kilometers away, was blowing a force 13 gale with thunder, hail, and heavy rain. Windy weather burst out in many areas of Beijing. That night, the Beijing authorities issued 3 early warnings for high winds, lightning, thunder, and hail. Residents said the lightning and thunder lasted for an hour without stopping. I don't remember Beijing ever having strong thunder and lightning for such a long time. At 8 a.m. on July 1, celebrations began in Beijing's Tiananmen Square. Shortly after the event, lightning and thunder started in the eastern and northern parts of Beijing.